there was a suggestion that if you wanted to come off of some kind of bad habit or addiction you have, nicotine or any kind of intoxication that people become habituated to, and they're really beginning to actually realize that these things are negative in my life and they're not actually positive for me, but I'm so weak and I can't give them up. Well, the idea is that, okay, it's true, it may be weak, but if you're eating some very inferior food, like a very high processed white flour pastry, uh, just the worst junk food you can imagine. And if it tastes good, but it makes you feel like crap later on, it gives you a little buzz for a while, and you're stimulated, and you just feel like horrible. Constipation, just horrible, right? But you can't give it up because you like it. But then if you have something, if you can be introduced to a food that's a superior quality nutrition, and it actually is beneficial for you and tastes good, then it's easy for you to give up the lower taste. So that's the principle that's spoken about in the Bhagavad Gita. You can cease all kinds of undesirable types of behavior and activities by being introduced to something that's a higher taste. When you experience this higher taste, then you actually forget about the lower taste. It becomes completely nullified. It's no longer in the purview of your consciousness. It's like, I can't believe I used to do that in my pursuit of happiness. Here in America, the Constitution has stated that we have the God-given right of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So, because the living being is naturally joyous, he's Satchidananda, then unfortunately in the artificial environment and artificial identification that we're identifying with our body, mind, and our material personality, when we try to pursue happiness in the sensory world. But anyway, it's a pursuit of happiness, and we're finding so many obstacles in actually achieving happiness. Happiness isn't guaranteed unless you go to the guaranteed source of happiness, which is the source of everything, which is the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of God. The ultimate source of happiness is called Hladini Shakti. The Hladini Shakti is personified in Srimati Radharani. So that is the best way that we understand from Sri Guru Parampara, from Bhakti Guru and Vaishnavas, that chanting the holy names, living a simple and pure lifestyle, we can achieve ultimate happiness and permanently solve the problems that exist in this karmic world. Because the world, the field of activities in which we live in, is actually created by karma of all living beings around us. And so their field of activity, karma, is the environment in which we live in. And so the environment in which we live in and all the problems that are being caused are the reactions of everyone, every individual in this world. They're experiencing the fruits of their good and bad actions. The good fruits give them, beauty, wealth, strength, fame. They become so prominent, so happy. We see happy people, and then when their good karma is burnt up, they become miserable and suicidal and so forth. They fall down. So anyhow, we want to access the source of all happiness, Hladini Shakti. And by chanting Harinam, we have this possibility. But one of the things about chanting Harinam is it will bring you to anartha nivritti, and it will bring you face to face with your own anarthas. And what is the root of all anarthas? Is the fact that we have an aversion to loving the Supreme Lord. We have an attraction for things in this material world which we think can give us happiness, and that is a symptom to our aversion to the Supreme Lord, to loving Him. Something I've been actually contemplating quite a bit lately. We must go through anartha nivritti and come out, and then when these unwanted things become gradually diminished and we stop doing things which are unfavorable and destructive for us, for our spiritual life, they're unfavorable, then nishta can come. Steadiness in our practice, but but also the steadiness in our own faith. It's a deeper thing than just always doing the same thing every day, mechanically like a parrot. We don't want to be like that. We want actually unshakable faith. So then, the real taste, the real happiness begins to come, ruchi. And we're really on our way towards ashakti. We become very attached for that taste. And the ruchi means that there's a substantial spiritual taste, which is characterized by complete absence of a desire to pursue any kind of form of material happiness. And then we're on our way. Sadhana bhakti leading to bhava bhakti. Although these things may be very theoretical for us, still by gradual practice and experience, they become actually real.